Welcome to the Marine Sailing Club video on how to capsize recover a flying Scot sailboat. Sailing a small boat is fun. Part of the learning to sail safely, though, includes figuring out what to do and practicing what to do when things don't go as expected. While it doesn't happen very often, sometimes small sailboats can get blown over in a high or gusty wind. One way to avoid this is when you're first learning to sail, stay sailing in winds that are light and not gusting. For a flying Scot, that would mean only sailing when the winds are 10 miles an hour or slower. You can also avoid capsizing by paying attention. Keep your hands on the main sheet at all times. If the boat starts to lean or heel over, you can avoid capsizing by quickly letting out some of the main sheet. No matter what the wind speed is, however, you should always wear a PFD or life jacket when you're sailing. If a strong wind gust comes along, it's possible that the wind will push the sail so hard that the boat will start to tip. If it keeps tipping, we call that a capsize. At the Marine Sailing Club, all of our Flying Scot sailboats have a masthead float, which is a triangular float at the top of the sail. The masthead float stops the mast and the sail from sinking below the water. This means that the sailboat will just lay on its side while you take steps to get it back upright. Let's watch this process and see how that works. These two Learn to Sail students are practicing the capsize recovery process. The instructor on the dock is using a line tied to the mast to help the students capsize the boat. When the boat tips, both sailors end up in the water right next to the boat. The first step is for the sailors to make sure that they're both okay and that no one is caught up in the rigging. Next, they make sure that the main sheet is uncleated. The next time you're in the boat, have your instructor show you how to uncleat the main sheet. Now the sailors are going to split up, and one person is going to swim around to the other side of the boat where the centerboard is sticking up. That person should make sure they stay close to the boat as they swim, so they don't want to get separated from the boat. It's also very important that the sailors communicate to each other so that they each know what the other is doing and they're each ready for the next step. You're probably going to need to shout in order to be heard. The other person is going to stay near the top side of the boat, and that person is going to grab onto the edge of the boat or the seat that's down near the water. That way, when the boat starts to tip back up, that person is going to get scooped right back into the boat. Now let's see what happens. The sailor near the centerboard is going to grab the tip of the centerboard and use their weight to pull down. Often you have to lift yourself partway up and out of the water to get this process started. Once the boat starts coming up, keep pulling down on the centerboard so the boat doesn't tip back down. Once the boat's all the way up, you can then swim back around to the ladder at the back of the boat and climb back in. The boat is back up. The sailor got scooped into the boat. They're getting everything ready, and now the person from the centerboard can swim around back to the ladder and climb aboard. And that is how you capsize recover a Flying Scot sailboat.